Hello everyone. So we will be starting this session in 5 minutes as I'm waiting for some more students to join. Okay, so just wait for 5 minutes. Okay, then we will start the session. Okay, hello everyone. I hope my voice is clear to you and my screen is visible. We have waited for 5 minutes. Now I will be starting today's session. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. So, my name is Himanshi Singh. I am currently pursuing my PhD from the Department of Mathematics, IIT Jodhpur. And the research topic is like broadly probability and statistics. And I'm your TA for this course, Essentials of Data Science with R Software 2, Sampling Theory and Linear Regression Analysis. Okay, so this course has been taught by Professor Shalab on the SWAM portal, and I'm the one who is taking the live sessions every week. Okay, so this is our 10th live session. Okay, and this is the schedule for the live session. So basically, we have covered nine live sessions, so 9-week lectures we have covered. So each week is covered in a particular live session. And today, this is our 10th live session, so which was previously scheduled on 30th of March. But due to some reasons, I was not able to take that lecture. So I have just postponed it to 5th of April. So that is today. So this is our 10th live session. Okay, tomorrow also we will be having another live session where I will be discussing the content of week 11. So today we will be discussing the content of week 10 lectures, whatever has been discussed in the class. Okay, so apart from this, this is the Google Meet link, okay, by which you can join this class, the live session. Okay, the second one is the YouTube link. So that is a link to my channel. So where I'm uploading all the recordings of these live sessions. So you can access it from there. And the third one is the Google Drive link where I'm uploading all the PowerPoint presentations and the R scripts which I'm discussing here in this live session. Okay, so I hope these things are clear. Okay, so apart from this, so yeah, so this is the plan for the live session. So basically, in each of the live session, I'm giving you a brief recap. Firstly, about the topics which has been covered in the particular week, and then if it is necessary, then I'm demonstrating them in R. Then we are basically doing some of the practice examples. So which basically helps you understand the topic in a better way, in a more practical way, I can say. Okay, then apart from this, we can also discuss the doubts. If you have any, then you may let me know. Then I will be discussing the doubts also. Okay, so this is basically the plan for the live session. So we will be having this session from 6 to 8 p.m. today also. Okay, so if there is no issue, then I will start the session. If someone has to say something, then you may ask. Okay, so basically, so then we will start the session. So basically, we have discussed about in the previous lecture also, the previous session also, we were discussing about the linear regression. So basically, we are discussing about the simple linear regression where the dependent parameter the dependent variable is dependent on one independent variable. So we have one independent variable and one on which the dependent variable is dependent. Okay, so we were basically talking about the two variables, and we have also the associated parameters of regression. We have estimated those parameters using the method of ordinary least square. Okay, so using the least square estimation, we have found out the estimators which are present in the slide. So you can see here the estimators came out to be this and this. Okay, so these were the estimators for the parameters, the regression parameters. So our model was y is equals to b naught beta naught plus beta 1 x. So this was the model in which we want to estimate these parameters. So here there was a random error epsilon, and based on the observations we have minimized the summation of epsilon I square, and by we minimize this epsilon summation of epsilon I square with respect to beta naught and beta 1, and we have found out the estimators of beta naught and beta 1, which came out to be this. Okay, so this we have discussed yesterday. Now today we will be discussing, sorry, not yesterday, in the last lecture, in the last live session we were discussed about. Okay, so now today, first of all, let us talk about the properties of these estimators. So how these estimators are, what are the properties of these estimators? Okay, so this ordinary least square estimator, so these estimators, this beta naught hat and beta 1 hat, so both are unbiased estimators. Okay, so basically expected value of beta naught hat is beta naught, and expected value of beta 1 hat is beta 1. Okay. And apart from this, it possesses minimum variance in the class of linear and unbiased estimators. So basically, they have the minimum variance among the class of all unbiased estimators. So if I consider a class of all unbiased estimators of beta 1, all unbiased estimators of beta naught, then beta 1 hat, beta naught hat, we have found out they will have least variance. Okay. And so they are called blue. So blue is basically the best linear unbiased estimator. So best means they have minimum variance among the class of linear unbiased estimators. Okay, so this is the property for these estimators, the ordinary least square estimators for beta naught and beta 1. If we talk about the sigma square, so basically the error term, so epsilon I, we assume that the epsilon I is IID with normal 0 comma sigma square. Okay, so for that sigma square, if I want to find out an estimator, then this estimator S square is an unbiased estimator of sigma square. So what this S square is? So that is summation yi minus yi hat whole square divided by n minus 2. So here yi hat is the, so this is basically what? So you have estimated beta naught hat and beta 1 hat. So yi hat will be beta naught beta 1 hat xi. So for particular xi, okay, this yi hat will be this. Okay, and if I take the yi minus yi hat whole square, so that is basically this is basically the residual we are talking about, and we take the square and we sum it and divide it by n minus 2. So this is basically an unbiased estimator of sigma square. Okay, so we got another unbiased estimator, an unbiased estimator of sigma square also. Now, since we are talking about the estimators of these parameters beta naught and beta 1, so what about the variances of these parameters? So because this is an estimator, so this is basically a function of a random sample. Now, if it is a function of random sample, so if the random sample changes, then this value will also change. So basically, this is also again a random variable, a kind of a thing. So it will have some variance. So what are the variances of this beta naught hat, beta 1 hat? And what and are they dependent or are they independent? If they are dependent, then what is the covariance between beta naught hat and beta 1 hat? So for that we have these this expression. So the proof has been given in the lectures only. Here the expression for the variance of beta 1 hat is sigma square by sxx. So sxx we discussed this or discussed already, that it is summation xi minus xy whole square. Okay, so it is sigma square divided by sxx. Variance of beta naught hat is given by sigma square 1 by n plus x bar square divided by sxx, and also the covariance between beta naught hat and beta 1 hat is given by minus x bar divided by sxx into sigma square. Okay, so these are the variances of these estimators, variances and covariance. Now, what if because sigma square is not always known, so if we want to estimate this variances, then what are those estimators? If you want to find out the estimate of variance of beta 1 and estimate of variance of beta naught hat, so for that, we need to find out the estimator of sigma square. So we also know that this S square is an unbiased estimator of sigma square. So we may replace it here to get the estimate of variance of beta 1 hat. So by the same thing here, we get the estimate of variance and covariance of ordinary least square estimators beta 1 hat and beta naught hat are given by this variance hat beta 1 hat is S square by SSX. So basically we have replaced this sigma square by the estimate S square. And here also we have replaced this by S square. Here also replace this by S square. Then we get these estimates. Okay. So these are the estimates for the variances of beta 1 hat, beta naught hat, and covariance between beta naught hat and beta 1 hat. Fine. So these are the estimates for the variances. Now here we discussed about this S square. So we take this square root. Okay, the value of S. So that S is called as residual standard error. Okay, this quantity S, that is square root of summation of yi minus y at whole square divided by n minus 2. So this square root will be called as the residual standard error. Okay, and also if I take the positive square root of this quantity, variance of beta 1 hat and variance of beta beta naught hat, then the positive square root will be the standard errors of the ordinary least square estimators. Okay, so that will be the standard errors. So these are basically the formulations, that what are the estimators, what are the variances of those estimators, and since the sigma square is not known, so then how can we estimate those variances? Okay, so this is about this thing. Now, so here till now we were discussing about the ordinary least square estimators. Okay, but what if we talk about the maximum likelihood estimators? Okay, so for that we need the assumptions that yi's are normally distributed with mean, with some mean and the variance. Okay, so under that assumption, the maximum likelihood estimators for the regression parameters, that is beta naught and beta 1, so they are same as the ordinary least square estimates, which we have discussed previously. So the maximum likelihood estimators for beta naught and beta 1 will be same as the ordinary least square estimators. So this need not to be true every time, but here for these estimators under such models, it is true. Okay, but if we talk about the maximum likelihood estimator of sigma square, then that is different for the maximum likelihood estimation. So the S square MLE, so this is the maximum likelihood estimator of sigma square. It is given by summation yi minus yi at whole square divided by n. So which was for the ordinary least square estimation method, it was summation yi minus yi at whole square divided by n minus 2. But here it is divided by n. So this is a difference when we talk about the maximum likelihood estimation and the ordinary least square estimation. However, for beta naught and beta 1, both are same. The maximum likelihood estimator and the ordinary least square estimators for both the quantities, they are same. Okay. So this is about the maximum likelihood estimators. Now, further, we have three parameters. Okay, so from here we know. So what we were considering, that y is equals to beta naught plus beta 1 x plus epsilon, and we were saying that whenever, so we have the values yi's, some values, xi's, some values, and epsilon i's also we have. So for each observation we have some random error, epsilon i's we have some values, and we are assuming that epsilon 1 till epsilon n, so they are IID and normally distributed with 0 comma sigma square. Okay, so from here we have three parameters. First one is beta naught, second one is beta 1. We are talking about the estimators of these three quantities. Okay, so we are talking about the point estimation. When we are talking about the ordinary least square estimation, then also we are getting a particular estimate, a particular estimator of beta naught, particular estimator of beta 1, particular estimator of sigma square. Similarly, whenever we are talking about the maximum likelihood estimation, then also we are getting a basically a particular estimate for beta naught, beta 1 and sigma square. So this is basically we are doing the point estimation. Okay, so we also have two different two more kind of a measure by which or I can say two more methods by which we can do some statistical inference. Okay, so apart from point estimation, we also have interval estimation and we have hypothesis testing. So what if we consider those methods also? So if we consider that, so that is the testing of hypothesis. If we consider that beta 1 is equals to beta 1 naught, where beta 1 0 is some constant, for example 2 or 4 or 1, whatever. If I consider this null hypothesis, and if I want to test this null hypothesis, then we have two cases, that when sigma square is known and sigma square is not known. Okay, so when sigma square is known, this is the test statistics, that is beta 1 hat. So beta 1 hat is what? We have already discussed the estimate, the estimator. So this is the beta 1 hat. Okay, so this is the beta 1. If you know the sample, you know the beta 1 hat. Okay, so you know the beta 1 hat. So beta 1 hat minus beta 1 divided by under root s square by sxs. So if you know the null, so you know that what is beta 1. So under the null hypothesis, you can calculate the test statistic. Okay, so when sigma square is known, this is the test statistics, and the confidence interval. So this is the confidence interval, that is beta 1 hat plus minus z alpha by 2 under root of sigma square by sxs. Now how to calculate this z alpha by 2? You can calculate it using the standard normal table also. But if you want to use R, you can also calculate this Z alpha by 2 by the command. So you, as I have discussed it already also, Q norm 1 minus alpha by 2 comma, yeah, only this. So this is Q norm 1 minus alpha by 2. So by which you can calculate this Z alpha by 2. Fine. So this is the confidence interval. So this is the test statistics and sigma square is known. Apart from this, if sigma square is unknown, then this is the test statistics. That is beta 1 hat minus beta 1 divided by SSRES divided by n minus 2 into SSX. Here SSREX is nothing but what summation yi minus y hat whole square. Okay, so that we have discussed already. So this is the test statistics if sigma square is not known. So basically when sigma square is not known, then in place of sigma square, we are using its estimator. So that is SSRES by n minus 2. That is the unbiased estimator of sigma square. Okay, so this is basically the test statistics. And this is the confidence interval where we are using the t distribution. So that is beta 1 hat plus minus t alpha by 2 comma n minus 2 into under root of SSRES n minus divided by n minus 2 into SXX. Okay, here this t alpha by 2 also can be calculated using the t table. And if you want to use R for this, then you can use it by writing this command Qt. Okay, 1 minus alpha by 2 comma n minus 1. Okay, so this quantity t alpha by 2 comma n, not n minus 1, n minus 2. This quantity can be calculated using this command directly in R. You can find out. Okay, so this is for the hypothesis, null hypothesis, beta 1 is equals to beta 1 0 against the alternative, that is beta 1 not equals to beta 1 0. So that is a composite hypothesis. Okay, so this is for this hypothesis concerning the parameter beta 1. Now, what if we consider the regression parameter to be beta naught? So that is next. So if you consider beta naught to be beta 0 0, so this is some constant. Then for when sigma square is known, the test statistics is given like this. So here beta naught hat minus beta naught divided by under root of sigma square 1 by n plus x bar square divided by SSS. So this was basically the variance of beta naught hat, which we are using it as an under root. Okay. Okay, so this is the test statistics. So this is the test statistics for the hypothesis beta naught is equals to beta 0 0. Now what is the current confidence interval? So that is beta naught hat plus minus z alpha by 2 and root of sigma square 1 by n plus x bar square divided by SXX. So here beta naught hat is the ordinary least square estimator of beta naught. Okay, z alpha by 2 can be calculated using the q norm command. Sigma square you know because it is given in the condition. 1 by n you know the number of observation. X bar square is the average of the values of the independent variable. So what are the observations from which you can calculate the average, and SXS can also be calculated using the observations x1, x2, xn. Fine. Now what if sigma square is unknown? So if sigma square is unknown, then in place of sigma square we will use its estimator, that is SSRES divided by n minus 2. Okay, so here there is a mistake. So here we should write this term. Okay, so this is not SXX. It should be here 1 by n plus x bar square divided by SXX in the multiplication. Fine. And also the confidence interval is beta naught hat. So that is the estimator OL, the ordinary least square estimator of beta naught plus minus t alpha by 2 comma n minus 2. So this basically can be calculated using the command Qt. Okay, multiplied by square root of this quantity SSRES by n minus 2 multiplied by 1 by n plus x bar square divided by SXX. Okay, so this is the confidence interval and the test statistics for the null hypothesis beta naught to be equals to some constant. Okay, against the alternative, that is beta naught is not equals to beta 0 0. So we have discussed for beta 1 and beta naught. Now what is remaining? That is sigma square. So for sigma square, this. So if we consider h naught to be sigma square is equals to sigma naught square, then the test statistics is summation I is equals to 1 to n yi minus y bar whole square divided by sigma square. And under h naught it will be sigma naught square. Okay, so this is the test statistics and this is the confidence interval. That is summation yi minus y bar whole square divided by chi square n minus 1 comma 1 minus alpha by 2 comma summation yi minus y bar whole square divided by chi square n minus 1 comma alpha by 2. So this quantity can be calculated. So how this quantity can be calculated? So this is q by using the command chq. Okay, 1 minus alpha by 2 comma n minus 1. Here you should write the degrees of freedom and here whatever the level of significance you want. Okay, and for this you have q chq alpha by 2 comma n minus 1. So using these commands, these quantities can also be calculated. Okay, so this was for the confidence interval and the testing of hypothesis for the sigma square, if we are considering the estimation or statistical inference about the parameter sigma square. Okay, now how to do so? Here I have explained all the theoretical aspects, how to do it using R. How to get these kind of confidence interval, the value of the test statistics, and the whatever decision, the p value also. So we basically here in all the hypothesis we reject the null hypothesis if the corresponding p value is greater than alpha. Sorry, if the corresponding p value is less than alpha, then we reject h naught at alpha level of significance. So that is basically the decision rule. So if we know the p value, then we know the decision basically that whether we are going to accept or reject h naught. Okay. So yeah. So now if I want to do all these things in a particular in R, using R, if I don't want to do all the calculation and I want to compute all these things using R, then I have different kind of commands. So for example, if I use lmyx, so we have discussed this before only, that lmyx will give me the coefficients, whatever the estimates are coming, and it will give me the fitted model. Okay, so if I write summary lmyx, then it will give me, obviously it will give me the ordinary least square estimates or beta naught and beta 1. Okay, it will give me their corresponding standard errors. It also will give me the residual standard error. It will give me the value of the test statistics, the t statistics. Okay, which one? So this one. It will for beta 1, it will give me the value of this statistics, this one. Okay, and for beta naught, it will give me, for beta naught, it will give me the value of this statistic. Okay, this command, summary lm yx. Okay, and also it will give me the p value. Fine. So this will all be displayed in the summary. So I will show it to you afterwards whenever I'm considering an example, and I will show everything to you in the output. Okay. Apart from this, if I want to get a confidence interval for these beta naught and beta 1, then for that I should write CONFINT, so conf int, and in place of object, because here I'm using the linear regression, basically linear modeling I'm doing. So for in place of object, I should write lmy tilde x, comma PARM, and in PRM, in the place of the PRM, I should write the parameter for which I want the confidence interval. If I do not write the parameter, then it will give me the analysis of the confidence interval for all the parameters present. Okay, and level is equals to 0.95. So if alpha is for some alpha, if I want a level of significance alpha, then I should write level is equals to 1 minus that alpha. Okay, so then it will give me the confidence interval. It will give me 1 minus alpha, 100 to 1 minus alpha percent confidence interval. Okay, so by this we can get the confidence interval. Now, if I want to find out, so here we are talking only about beta naught and beta 1. What if I want to talk about sigma square? So how to get the corresponding chi-square statistics, how to get corresponding confidence interval. For that, I have to install package that is called as env stats package. So here it is written env stats. Okay, then I need to call that. Then I should use this command vartest. Okay, in place of y, I should write the value of the dependent variable. Okay, whatever the observations of the dependent variable. I want alternative to be two-dot-sided. So here I can also use the single-sided, no problem. In conf dot level is equals to 0.95 for 5% level of significance. sigma dot squared is equals to 1. So in the null, I am consider sigma square is equals to sigma naught square. So whatever constant I am considering there, I will give it to be here. Okay, and data dot name is equals to null. So here we are not using any data dot name. We are only using the other things. Okay, so this command will give me the estimate. Okay, whatever the estimate of sigma square. So that unbiased estimator of S square, that is sum of the residual, the value of S square. It will give me the value of S square here we are talking about. So here we are talking about this residual standard error. So it will give me the residual standard error. Okay, so yeah, not residual standard error. So residual standard error will be given here in the summary only. Okay, in here we will get the estimate of sigma square. Okay, so it will give me the estimate of sigma square. It will give me the value of the test statistics. It also will give me the confidence interval for sigma square. Okay, so these are the commands which we can use. So I will be using these commands also in order to show you that how we can get all those things, all the calculation. We can skip all the calculation and we will get the same results by using these commands. Okay, so first of all, I will be solving all the things by hand, and then I will be showing that how can we do all the things using R very quickly. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so this was all about the linear the simple linear regression analysis. Further, a brief introduction about the multiple linear regression analysis was also given in this in these lecture. So so basically it is like now obvious. So if here before we are only considering that there is only one dependent parameter, one independent parameter. Okay, now if we consider one dependent parameter but more than one independent parameters. So if we consider more than one independent parameters in a linear regression model, then we call it as a multiple linear regression model. Okay, so here linearity we are talking about, so linear regression model, linearity in the parameters, the regression parameters. Okay, so here we are talking about the linearity in regression parameters. Okay, so here mathematically if we talk about, so we are basically considering the model y to be equals to beta 1 x1 beta 2 x2 plus dash beta k xk plus epsilon. So here epsilon is again the random error, and beta 1 x1, so basically x1 is a particular variable on which y is dependent. Okay, x2 is another variable on which y is dependent, and similarly there are k variables on which y is dependent. So here x1 x2 xk are independent variables. Okay, and y is the dependent variable which is dependent upon all x1 x2 xk. Okay, now so if x1 is a random, we will have some observations of x1, we'll have observations of x2, we'll have observations of xk, we'll have observations of y. So if we consider it like this, so y will have some observation y1, y2 till yn. Okay, this x1 will have some observation x11, x21, sorry, x11, x12 till x1k. X2 will have some observation x21, x22, x2k. Xk will have observation okay. So here it will be no. So yeah, so x11 will be observed. So x11, x21 till xn1 will be observations of x1. Okay, x12, x22, xn2 will be observations of x2. Okay, x1k, x2k, xnk will be observations of xk. Okay, and this beta 1, beta 2, beta k are the parameters, the regression parameters plus epsilon. So epsilon 1, so these are the values of, so epsilon 1 is the error when we are considering the first this x1 1 x1 2 x1k observation. So if we are considering these, so if we consider to be y1 to be equals to x11 beta 1 plus till x1k beta k, so plus epsilon 1. So here this this epsilon1 is that random error. Similarly, if we consider y2, then we'll get random error by epsilon2. Similarly, till yn, we'll get the random error epsilon n. Here, the observations are xn, this xn1, xn2 plus xnk plus this epsilon n. Okay, so these are the random errors. So this is basically our model for multiple linear regression analysis. So okay, so we have just written this model here in a matrix form. Okay, now further, similarly we'll proceed. So in the next lectures we will be discussing that similarly we will proceed. We will again be minimizing the errors, the sum of the square of the errors, and we'll get what are the estimators for beta 1, beta 2, beta k. So then we will be estimating a vector. Okay, beta 1, beta 2, beta k. Our vector, we will estimate a vector, and that estimator will again be in a form of a matrix. Okay, so that we will be discussed afterwards. Here I have only discussed that mathematically we can represent our multiple linear regression problem as this, and in the matrix form as this we can. So if we have some observations of these variables through which we want to estimate what is the estimators of beta 1, beta 2, beta k, then what we can do, then we can just first of all express it as a matrix, then further we can do analysis in order to obtain the estimators of this vector beta 1, beta 2, beta k. Okay, so this was a like a brief introduction about the multiple linear regression analysis. Okay, however, today we will be discussing all the practice examples related to the topics here given previously. So that is basically about the confidence interval estimation and the hypothesis testing for the parameters beta naught, beta 1 and sigma square. Okay, so let me know if there is some doubt. Otherwise, I will be starting the practice examples. Okay, so just recall all things in 1 or 2 minutes, then we will be starting the practice examples. So just let me know if there is some doubt. Otherwise, I will start the practice examples. Okay, so if there is no doubt, then I will be starting the practice examples. Okay. So here I will consider a single data set, and on the basis of that only, I will be doing all the analysis, all the calculations. Okay. So here this is a data set where the independent variables have the values are basically collected for the independent variable to be. So let me make some changes in it. So just give me a minute. So that our calculation will be little easy for these values. 4, 5, 6, 8. 10, plus 12, 14, 16, 18, 5, 7, 9, 10, 13, 14. Yeah. Okay, so we'll consider these values. Fine, okay. So here we have these values. The values of the dependent variable is 5, 7, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 19, 22. And the value of in values of or you can say observations for the independent variable is 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 16, 18. Okay. So here column for y hat is empty. So we will fill it. First of all, before that, we'll just see that what are the questions. Okay. So on the basis of the given data set, obtain the fitted linear model. So first of all, we have to obtain that what is the fitted linear model. So basically, we want to find out y that is equals to beta naught hat plus beta 1 hat x. Fine. So what is beta naught hat? So beta naught hat and what is beta 1 hat? So for that, we need to find out them. So what is beta 1 hat? So that is sxy divided by sxx. Okay, and yeah, beta naught hat is y bar minus beta 1 hat x bar. So here this beta 1 hat we need to calculate first. Okay, so for that we need to calculate this sxy. So sxy is nothing but summation xi minus x bar multiplied by yi minus y bar divided by summation xi minus x bar whole square. Fine. We have the values of xi's, we have the values of yi's. First, we will calculate now the other things. So let me take one empty paper actually. So okay. So here, let me first here. So here we need xi minus x bar. We need yi minus y bar. We need their product xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. We need xi minus x bar whole square. Okay. So these are the values. Okay. What is x bar and y bar? First of all, x bar and y bar. So x bar is, so their sum is, so 4 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 6. So what is the sum? So it is 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10, 12 plus 13, 16, 18. So the sum is, so this sum is 90. Okay. And the sum of y, if I do, no, this is not 90. So if I sum it, so just give me 1 minute. So we use the calculator. So it is 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 13 plus 14 plus 18 plus 19 plus 22. This is 117. Okay, the sum. So x bar will be 90 upon 9. So this is 10. And it is 117 upon 9. So there are 9 observations. So it is 13. Okay, so this is 10, this is 13. So here we have this x and y. So here the x, let me write xi minus x bar here only, yi minus y bar here, and their product and xi minus x bar whole square. Fine. So the x bar is what is x bar? So it is 10 and y bar is 13. Xi minus x bar is here, so this is minus 7. Okay, this is minus 6, this is minus 4, this is minus 2, this is 0, this is 2, this is 3, this is 6, this is 8. Fine. Yeah. Okay. And yi minus y bar is 5 minus 13, so it is minus 8. Okay, so 7 minus 13, it is minus 6. 9 minus 13, it is minus 4. Okay, 10 minus 13, it is minus 3. 13 minus 13, it is 0. 14 minus 13, it is 1. This is 5. 19 minus 13, this is 6. And 22 minus 13, it is 9. Fine, it is this. Now the multiplication. So this is 56, this is 36, this is 16, this is 6, this is 0, 2, 15, 36, 72. Okay, and the square of this, so this is 49, this is 36, 16, 4, 0, 4, 9, 36, 64. Right, so this sum, what is this sum? So let me do it. So it is 239. Okay, and if I sum this, so it is 49 plus 36 plus 16 plus 4 plus 4 plus 9, 36 plus 64. So this is 218. 218. Fine. So we know now these values. So what is our this SXY? So this is basically this product, the sum of this product. So this is 239. 239 divided by 218. So this is 218. So it will be this. So the value of beta 1 hat will be this division. So 239 divided by 218. So it is 1.0963. So we are basically taking it to be 1.096 only. Okay. Now what is beta naught hat? So it is y bar 13 minus beta 1 hat 1.096 multiplied by 10. So this is 13 minus 10.96. So this come out to be this come out to be. So it was 1.0963 if we consider here 3. So it is 2.037. Okay. So now our model becomes what? So our model is now So this is equals to 2.037. Let me write it on the other page. So the model will be y is equals to, so beta naught hat, so that is 2.037. 2.037 plus 1.0963 multiplied by x. Okay. So this is the our fitted model. Okay. Now, for each x, we need to find out the y hats also. So what is basically the fitted values of yi's? Okay, so for that we need to plug this 3, 4, 6, 8 in these in this. Okay, so for that y1 hat is what? So here in place of x we need to write 3. So that is 2.037 plus 1.0963 multiplied by 3, because here x is 3. So what will be the fitted value? So let me calculate that. 2. So that is 1.0963 multiplied by 3 plus 2.037. So that is 5.3259. So it is 5.325. Okay. Similarly, for y to be 4, so y2 hat is, so here in place of 3 we should write 4, and here the same things. Okay, so that comes out to be, so let me write it here in a way. So it is 2.037 plus 1.0963 multiplied by. So what is the next value of x? So that is 4. So that is 4, which is 6.422. So this is 6.422. Because we will be using these values. Okay, that's why I'm calculating it. So y3 hat is again this thing same. And in place of this, we write 6. So here we'll get, in place of 4, 6, we get 8.6148. So 8.6148. Okay, now again we have 8. So y4 hat in place of 6, we have 8. So what will be that value? So that is 10.807. So then we'll have this value 10.807. Fine. Now next value is for x is 10. So now y5 hat. So that is in place of 8 we have 10. So that is 2.037 plus 1.096. 3 into 10. So this is 13. Okay, so it is coming out to be 13. So the difference will be like almost 0. It is 13 here. Okay, so y6 hat is again the same thing plus the same thing multiplied by, what is it, 12. 12. So this is coming out to be 15.1926. So here it is 15.192. Again we have 13. So y7 hat. So in place of this we have same into 13. So it is coming out to be 16.288. 16.288. Okay. Again y8 hat. So this is same, this is same. What is the value of x8? So it is 16. Okay, so it is 16. So it is 19.577. It is 19.577. 18. Next one, y9 hat. Here in place of 16 we have 18. Okay, it is 21.77. It is 21.77. Fine. So here we have given the model, we have calculated y hats, the fitted value. So let us now look at what are the other things. So in the question 2, it is asked find the residual standard error. So the residual standard error, so that is S, which is equals to under root of SSRES divided by n minus 2. What is SSRES basically? So that is summation yi minus y hat whole square, I going from 1 to n. Now here we need those values. So yi minus y hat yi minus yi hat we need. We have the values of yi hats. We can calculate yi minus yi hats. So what will be yi minus yi hat? Okay. So for the first value, it is 5.325 minus 5 whole square we need. Okay, so we'll just calculate the whole square. Okay, so it is this minus this, so that is 0.325 square. Okay, so 0.325 square. So that is, so for the first value, for the x1 I can say, so it is 0.105. Okay, for x2, so again it is yi minus yi hat 7 minus 6.422 whole square. So, okay, so that comes out to be 0.335. Okay, x3, for x3 it is coming out to be 0.149. For x4 it is coming out to be 0.648. For x5 it is coming out to be 0. For x6 it is coming out to be 1.413. For x7 it is coming out to be 2.941. For x8 it is coming out to be 0.328. Okay, for x9 it is 0.0552. Fine, now we will sum all of them. So the sum is coming out to be approximately equals to 0.924. Okay, so okay, not this sum, actually, sorry. So this sum is coming out to be, so the sum is coming out to be 5.974. Fine. Now, if I want to find out S, so it will be under root of 5.974. Our n is 9, so n minus 2 is 7 divided by 7. So this comes out to be square root of 0.8534. So that is 0.9237, which is approximately equals to 0.924. So our residual standard error is coming out to be 0.924. Fine. So basically, we have calculated the fitted values yi hats, and then we have taken the difference yi minus yi hat. So basically, the residuals we have calculated for each of the observations, and we have squared them and we have added them. So that is the SSRES. And by using the values of SSRES, we have calculated the residual standard error, that is under root of SSRES divided by n minus 2. Okay. Now, So this we have calculated. Now let us move for the next question. So calculate the estimates of variance and standard error of ordinary least square estimators of regression parameters. So I want the estimates of variance, okay, of beta naught hat and variance beta 1 hat. Okay, so what was it? So if I see the so it is variance of beta 1 hat is s square by sxx. So this is s square by sxx. So what is s square here? From here, if I can see, so it is 0.8534. So it is 0.8534. What is sxx? So that is summation xi minus x bar whole square. So this is the xi minus x bar, and what is the summation of this whole square is 218. So that is divided by 218. So let me calculate it. So it is 0.8534 divided by 218. So this is 0.0039. Okay. Okay. Now what is variance of beta naught hat? Estimate of the variance of beta naught hat. So if you think this. So this is s square 1 by n plus x bar square divided by sxx. So let me write it. So s square 1 by n plus x bar square sxx. What is s square? Already we know 0.8534. 1 by n is 1 by 9 plus what was x bar? So x bar was 10, I guess. So x bar was 10, yes. So 10 is squared, so that is 100. sxx is 218, so 218. So this is 0.8534. 1 by 9. 0.11 plus 100 divided by 218. 0.4587. So this is, so this plus 0.11, okay, multiplied by 0.8534. So this is 0.485. Okay, this is 0.485. So this is basically the variance. Okay, the variance of the beta naught hat and beta 1 hat, the estimates. What will be the standard errors? Sorry. So what will be the standard error? So let me take an empty page. Okay, so standard error of beta naught hat. So that will be the square root of this quantity, 0.485. So what will be that? 0. 696. Okay, and standard error of beta 1 hat is square root of this quantity, 0.0039. So this is 0.062. Fine. So these are the standard errors. So the estimates of the variances are this, and the standard errors are these two. Okay. So this was about it. I hope so. We are basically using the formulas only. Okay, we are doing nothing. So here I am showing all the things theoretically. We are going by formula. We are calculating everything. Okay, then I'll just give you afterwards. I'll just give you a command. You will get all the analysis directly by R. Okay. So calculate the maximum likelihood estimate of sigma square. So what is maximum likelihood estimate of sigma square MLE? So it was summation yi minus y hat whole square yi hat whole square divided by n. Okay, so we have already calculated the summation yi minus yi hat whole square. So what was it? So here we have calculated the hats. Yeah, here. So this was the SSRES and it was coming out to be 5.974. Okay, so this is 5.974 and n we have 9. Okay, so now what this is 5.974 divided by 9. So this is 0.6637. So this is basically the MLE estimate. Okay. Fine. So now we will move towards the next question. So calculate the test statistics for the hypothesis H naught, beta 1 is equals to 0 and also calculate the 90% confidence interval. So first of all, I have to calculate for beta 1. So what is the test statistics for beta 1? So test statistic for this beta 1, for testing beta 1, for testing H naught, that is beta 1 is equals to 0 against the alternative H1, that is beta 1 not equals to 0 is. So what was the test statistics? Beta 1 hat minus beta 1 divided by square root of variance of beta 1 hat. Right? And what was the variance of this? Here sigma square is not known because sigma square is not given. So we will take the estimate of the variance of beta 1 hat. So that is beta 1 hat minus, so this is beta 1, so that is 0. Under the null we are calculating. So the test statistics will be calculated under null in order to do the in order to further know that whether we reject H naught or accept H naught. So this will be this minus 0 divided by under root of the estimate of beta 1 hat, variance of beta 1 hat. And what is this? We have already so that is sigma square by sxx, and in place of sigma square we use the SSRES divided by n minus 2. So this is beta 1 hat divided by under root SSRES, since sigma square is not known, divided by n minus 2 into sxx. Okay, so these values we already have, so let us calculate that. We'll take some empty pages. Just give me a minute. Okay, so here let us calculate this. So what is beta 1 hat from our previous calculation? What is beta 1 hat? So beta 1 hat was 1.096. Okay, so let us use that. So the test statistics 1.096 divided by square root of SSRES. So what was SSRES? here also we have used this SSRS. This is 5.974. Just give me a minute. So the SSRES is 5.974. So this is 5.974 divided by n minus 2. So n is 9. So n minus 2 is 7. 7 multiplied by SXX. So SXX is 218. So this is 218. So this is 1.096. 7 multiplied by 218 divided by the root of 5.97. Will this calculate it? So it is 218 multiplied by 7, 1526. So this is 1.096 into square root of 1526. Yes, this is 39.064. Okay. Square root of 5.974. 2.444. Now the upper one is 1.096 multiplied by 39.064 divided by 2.444. So this is 17.515 approximately. Okay, so this is the value of the test statistics. Apart from this, what we have to calculate the 90% confidence interval. So basically 90% is equals to 0.10. Okay, so 90% confidence interval means that is equals to 100 into 1 minus alpha percent confidence interval for beta 1 is, what is it? So it is, so since we do not know the sigma square, so the statistics will be t distribution. So we'll get the confidence interval accordingly. So that is beta 1 hat minus t alpha by 2 comma n minus 2. Okay, and here in the multiplication we have this quantity under root of SSRES divided by n minus 2 into SXX comma beta 1 hat plus the same quantity comma n minus 2 under root of SSRES divided by n minus 2 into SXX. Okay. We have this quantity, we also have this quantity. This t alpha by 2 comma n minus 2 can be calculated using the command qt 1 minus alpha by 2 comma n minus 2. So here alpha is 0.10. So alpha by 2 will be 0.05. Okay, and 1 minus alpha by 2 will be 0.95. So we'll code it like QT 0.95, N is 9, so it will be 7. QT 0.957. So let us find out using R. So here this is QT 0.957, comma 7. So it is 1.8945. So this is 1.8945. So the confidence interval will be what? So what is beta 1 hat? So what is beta 1 hat? So beta 1 hat is 1.096. So 1.096 minus 1.8945 multiplied by this quantity SSRES by n minus 2 into SXX. So this is this quantity under root of this. So let me calculate that. So under root of, so let me calculate for the fraction. So that is 7 into 218, 1526. This is 5.974. Okay. Square root of. So this is 0.0625. So this is 0.0625, comma 1.096 plus 1.8945 multiplied by 0.0625. Okay, so this confidence interval will be, so the 100 into 1 minus alpha percent, so that is basically the 90% confidence interval for beta 1 is. So if you do the calculation, you will get the result. Is 0.9775, 0.2144. Okay, this calculation. So basically we have calculated the 90% confidence interval for the beta 1. Okay, and also what is the corresponding test statistic? The value of the test statistics. Okay. Now we'll move for the question 6th. So it basically says that calculate the test statistics for the hypothesis beta naught is equals to 0 and also calculate the 95% confidence interval. Okay, so the test statistics for the hypothesis for beta naught is equals to 0. So the test statistics is given as, so the test statistics for H naught beta naught is equals to 0 against the alternative H1, that is beta naught not equals to 0, is given by, so sigma square is not known. So the test statistics T will be the beta naught hat minus beta naught divided by square root of variance of beta naught. Fine. Now since the now since the sigma square is not known, okay, so the variance of beta naught hat will not be known. So we will consider its estimate. Okay, the variance hat of beta naught hat. So that will be, so now under the null beta naught is 0. So here it will be 0. So now it will be beta naught hat divided by under root of. So now what is the estimator of the variance of beta naught hat? So that is SSRES divided by n minus 2, 1 upon n plus x bar square by SXX. Okay, so in place of sigma square, we just wrote SSRES by n minus 2. Okay, so now we'll just put the values here and find out the values of the test statistics. So let us calculate that. So let me take this pages here. Okay, so this value is nothing but the standard error of the beta naught hat. So we'll just use that. So T will be value of the beta naught hat divided by the standard error of the beta naught hat. So let us see that what was the value of beta naught hat. So it is 2.037. And what was the standard error? So 2.037. First let me write 2.037 divided by, so what is it? Standard error of beta naught hat. So let me see what was the standard error of beta naught hat. So we have already calculated the standard error here. Yeah, so standard error of beta naught hat is 0.696. So it is 0.696. So let us calculate it. So 2.037 divided by 0.696. 2.926. It is 2.926. Okay. Fine. So now what is the 95% confidence interval for it? So here 95% means alpha is 0.05. Fine. Now the confidence interval is like beta naught hat minus T alpha by 2 comma n minus 2. Okay. Here also we had n minus 2. No? Yeah. Okay. And here we will have this standard error term. Okay, so that is basically the square root of SSRES divided by n minus 2 1 by n plus x bar square divided by xxx plus the sum of it. So beta naught hat plus T alpha by 2 comma n minus 2 and the root of SS RES divided by n minus 2 into 1 by n plus x bar square by SXX. Okay, so here again we'll just put the value. So what is beta naught hat? So that is 2.037. So confidence interval is 2.037 minus, so this T alpha by 2 comma n minus 2. So this T alpha by 2 comma n minus 2 can be calculated using QT 1 minus alpha by 2. What is alpha? Alpha here is 0.05. So alpha by 2 will be 0.025. So 1 minus alpha by 2 will be 0.975. So here it will be 0.975 comma 7. So let's just find out that. So this value is 2.364. This is 2.364. So here it is 2.364. Okay, multiplied by the standard error term, this one. So which was 0.696. 0.696 comma 2.037 plus 2.364 multiplied by 0.696. Okay, so this now become what? 2.364 multiplied by 0.6 plus 2.037. So it is 3.68 here, 3.68, and here it is 0.389. Approximately. Fine. So this will be the confidence interval. So this is 95% confidence interval. Fine. Okay. So here we have done the calculation and all those things for beta naught and for beta 1. Okay, the confidence interval also, and we have calculated the value of the test statistics also. Now let me do the analysis for sigma square. So here in the question it is asked that calculate the chi-square statistics for testing H naught to be sigma square equals to 1 against the alternative sigma square not equals to 1. and also calculate the 90% confidence interval. Now, what is the chi-square test statistic? So that is chi-square c. So that was nothing but summation yi minus y bar whole square divided by sigma naught square. So here the sigma naught square is 1. Okay, summation yi minus y bar whole square. So what were the yi's? So yi's were this 5, 7, 9, 10, 13. Let me write it 5, 7, 9, 10, 13, 14, 18, 19, 22. 14, 18, 19, 22. Okay, so now y bar was, so y bar was 13. Okay, now yi minus y bar is what? 13 minus 5. So we have calculated yi minus y bar there also. So let us calculate here also. So it is 8 minus 8. Okay, minus 6 minus 4. This is minus 3. So this is 0. This is 1. This is 5. This is 6. This is 8. So this yi minus y bar whole square is 64, 36, 16, 9, 0, 1, 25, 36, 64. So what will be the sum of it? So this is 64 plus 36 plus 16 plus 9 plus 1 plus 25 plus 36 plus 64. This is 251. So this is, so is there any mistake? Oh, 36, 16, 9, 0, 1, 25, 36. Okay. So this is 9 actually here. And here it is 84. So the sum is coming out to be 268. Okay. So this is 268. So the value of the test statistic. Okay, so I have to take a slide here also. Okay. Okay, so this is the value of chi-square c. So this is 268 because this is 268 divided by 1. So this. Now finally we have to calculate the 90% confidence interval. So the 90% confidence interval or 100 into 1 minus 0.10% confidence interval. So here basically alpha is 0.10. Is what? So it is summation yi minus y bar whole square divided by chi-square 1 minus alpha y2 comma n minus 1 comma summation yi minus y bar whole square divided by chi-square alpha y2 comma n minus 1. Fine. So this is the 1 minus alpha into 100% confidence interval. Okay. So these values can be calculated using R. Okay, so let us calculate them first because we already know these the numerator values. So this can be calculated using the command QCHQ 1 minus alpha y2 comma n minus 1. So 1 minus alpha y2 will be QCHQ. So alpha y2 is 0.05, 1, so this is 0.95 comma. So what is n? 9, so this will be 8. Okay, and this is QCHQ 0. Alpha y2 is 0.5 comma 8. Okay, so let us calculate them. QCHISQ actually. So it is QCHISQ. CCH chi-square actually it means QCHISQ. QCHISQ. So I have written it already here also. Corrected that. So yeah, so these values. So let us calculate them. So let us just find out using R. So where it is, yeah, so here. So this is 15.507. And the other one is 2.732. Okay. So yeah, so we will now just calculate the final confidence interval. So the 90% confidence interval for sigma squared is, so this quantity, so this is 268. So this is 268 divided by 15.507, comma 268 divided by 2.732. Okay, so this is what 268 divided by 15.507, 17.28, comma divided by 2.732, 98.096. Okay, so this is the final confidence interval which is asked. Now, since here I have done all the things, like I have calculated all the things manually. Now let us do all these things on R. So first of all, we have calculated this estimated value. So we have fitted this model. So this was the fitted model. So let us do it using the LM command. So I have stored these values X and Y, and you can see here. So if I do LMYX, so here you can see that the intercept term is 2.037 and the slope term is 1.096. So here also you have this slope term 1.096 and intercept term is 2.037. Okay. Further, what we have done, we have further calculated all the things, and here we have calculated the residual standard error. Here we have calculated the variance of the estimates, the standard errors of the estimates. Here we have calculated these things. So these things will be available directly by using this command summary lmy tilde x. Okay, so if I run it, so here you can see the summary command here is giving you this output. So here you can see this is basically the estimates which we have calculated of beta, the interceptum, that is beta naught hat, this is beta 1 hat. So that is 2.0367 and this is 1.096. That is fine. Now here these are the standard errors. So this is 0.697, 0.062. So here also you can say, you can see here the standard errors. Here this is 0.696 for the intercept term. So here also it is the same 0.697. So this is approximately same. And here also for beta 1 it is 0.062 and here also you can see 0.062. Okay. Further, the value of the test statistics which we have further calculated here, the value of the test statistics. Okay. Now, for the value of the test statistics for the question number 5, let me start from here. So here the value of the test statistics, so this was the test statistics for beta 1 and this was the value of the test statistics, that is 17.517. So here also you can see for the slope term for the beta 1, the value of the test statistic is 17.52, which is approximately equals to this quantity. Further for the beta naught, so this was for the beta naught, and here also we have calculated the value of the test statistic, and you can see here the value came out to be 2.926, and here you can see this is also 2.92, so which is approximately same. Okay, apart from this also we have calculated the residual standard error. So the residual standard error was coming out to be 0.924. Now here you can see that the residual standard error is 0.924 on 7 degrees of freedom. Okay, so this is 0.924. So here in summary, what we got the estimates, we got their standard errors, we also got the values of the test statistics. Further, we also got this p-value. So these are p-values. So here basically the single star is representing that we reject H naught for the significance level 0, for the significance level 0.001. Okay, but so if I consider the significance level to be greater than 0.01, okay, then we will not be rejecting H naught. Okay, for this first one, the intercept parameter, because here the p-value is 0.0223, okay, which is greater than these alphas. So we basically reject H naught when the p-value is less than alpha. Okay, so we basically reject H naught if the p-value is less than alpha. Okay, so here the p-value is 0.023, which is greater than 0.001. So we will not be rejecting H naught at this level of significance. But this p-value 0.02 is less than any alpha which is greater than 0.02. So if we consider alpha to be 0.05 and the p-value is 0.02, so the p-value is less than alpha. So basically we will accept H naught at 5% level of significance. However, in the second one, we have this p-value to be 4.86 into 10 to the power minus 7. So that is very, very small. So basically we will reject H naught. Okay, because the p-value is very, very small. It is smaller than 0.001. Okay, so that's why we will reject H naught. Fine. So this is the inference from the p-value in order to accept H naught or reject H naught. Fine. Apart from this, we also have this residual standard error, which is nothing but the square root of SSRES divided by the n minus 2, the degrees of freedom. Fine. Okay. So this was it about it. So we have basically done the point estimation, as well as we also got the p-values and the values of the test statistics. Now how to get the confidence intervals? So here we have calculated the confidence in 90% confidence interval. So how to get those confidence interval? So since we have used this, we have also discussed this command CONFINT. So confint command. So here in the bracket we have written LMYX. Okay, so this is the object for which we want to find out the confidence interval, and we want 10% level of significance. Okay, so here we have written level to be 0.90. So if I do this, so here for this I want to find out the confidence interval for beta 1. But here, since I'm not emphasizing the parameters, so I will get the confidence interval for both the parameters at 10% at the alpha to be 0.10. Okay, so here you can see here. So the intercept, the confidence interval for the intercept term, that is for beta naught, is this. For beta 1 is this. So we have calculated for beta 1. So let us see for beta 1. So this is 0.977, 1.214. And we have calculated, so what we have calculated? So we have calculated this one. So which is same. So this is 0.977, 1.214. So this is same. Fine. Apart from this, in the next question, we have calculated the confidence interval, 95% confidence interval for beta naught. So here in the question also, so in the command also, if I write CONFINT LMYX level to be 0.95. So let us see what is the outcome here. So for the intercept term and for the slope term, for both of them, I got the confidence interval, but we wanted to calculate for beta naught. So what is the confidence interval for beta naught? So we calculated 0.389, 3.68. Here also it is coming approximately same 0.387, 3.68 for the intercept term. Okay, so here we can see that by using directly this command, we can avoid all this calculation, the calculation we have done. Fine, and we are getting the same output. Okay, now further we have found out the chi-square statistics for the testing of the hypothesis for sigma square and also the 90% confidence interval. Now we have already discussed that for this confidence intervals and the values of the test statistics, we have to install a package. Okay, so let us install this package env stats. Okay, so it is getting installed. Yeah, so it is installed. Let us call it then library env stats. Okay. Now we'll use this command var test y comma alternative is equals to two-sided conf dot level is equals to 0.90 because we want 90% confidence interval. Okay, sigma dot square to be 1 because we want the null hypothesis sigma square to be 1 and data dot name is equals to null. Okay. So yeah. So this and further when we run this, okay, so when we run this, so we get this output. Here the chi-square statistics is 268. So we have also calculated the chi-square statistics, the value of chi-square statistics to be 268. Okay, and we have calculated the confidence intervals to be 17.28, 19.98.096. Here also we can see this is the lower confidence level, upper confidence level limit, sorry, confidence limit and upper confidence limit, that is 17.28 and 98.07. So that is also approximately same. Okay, here we also got the p value is 0, the estimate of the variance is 33.5. Okay, null value is 1, alternative is two-sided alternative, the method is the chi-square test because there are other method also on variance because this is a chi-square test for variance. Okay, the data name is y. Okay, these are the confidence interval, the level is the 0.9 because we are considering 90% confidence interval. Okay, so this is basically how we can calculate the confidence interval for sigma square by using R, by using this package. In this package, we'll use this function var test. Okay. Fine. So this is all for today. And the recording for the today's session will be uploaded on YouTube. The PowerPoint presentations and the PowerPoint presentations will be uploaded and the R script will be uploaded on Google Drive. Okay, our next session will be tomorrow. That will be the week 11 section. So that will be tomorrow on 6th April from 6 to 8 p.m. same time. Okay, so if someone now have any doubts, then you may ask. Otherwise, we will end this session. So just let me know if there is any doubt. Otherwise, we'll end the session. So basically, if I want to summarize, so what we have done today, basically, we were in the previous class, we were considering about the simple linear regression analysis, for which we have discussed the model. Okay. So for which we have discussed the model. Okay, but just wait for a minute. Okay, yeah. So basically we were discussing about. So we were basically discussing the simple linear regression model. So we have discussed the model in the previous lecture, but today, since we have estimated the parameters, the regression parameters, so we today we have talked about that how to get the estimates of those the variances of those parameters. Okay, apart from that, also we have discussed. So we were basically discussing about the point estimation before. So today we have discussed that how to get the confidence interval for those estimates, okay, or for those parameters, how to get the confidence interval, and also how to test the hypothesis. The where the null hypothesis is the beta naught is equals to beta is equals to some constant, or beta 1 is equals to some constant, or sigma square is equals to some constant. Against that is not equals to that constant. Okay, so for these kind of hypotheses, what is the test statistics, and also for these particular parameters, what will be the confidence interval. Okay, and we have calculated, and we have seen those things theoretically. Manually we have solved them using the example, and also we have discussed that how to do all those things in R using the commands. Okay, so that was a brief summary. Also, we also have discussed about the multiple linear regression analysis. Today I have given a brief discussion on the multiple linear regression analysis. Now tomorrow we will discuss about that how to estimate the parameters, the regression parameters, the regression parameter vector for the multiple linear regression model. Also, further we will again be going in the direction of the estimation, confidence interval estimation, and the what will be the maximum likelihood estimator for those, and other things. Okay, so then we will be wrapping up the linear regression model further by week 12 lectures, by discussing some analysis of variances, the ANOVA, and all those things. Okay, so I hope these things are clear. If there is some doubt, then you may ask. Otherwise, we will end the session, and thank you for joining the class. And also, we will be meeting up tomorrow for discussing the content of week 11 lectures. Okay, so yeah, thank you everyone, and let's meet tomorrow. Okay, so then I will be ending this session. You may leave.